Hello everybody, welcome to Revelation Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, Brother Edward. Everybody's brother. I have some things I want to say today. Of course, that's not anything new, is it? There's a lot of talk, and has been for a while now, about civil war and or civil revolution, which I think, to be honest with you, if there's going to be anything, it would be the latter. We need to really stop putting so much emphasis and focus on this. The more we think about it, the more we talk about it, the more likely it is to happen. And it shouldn't. It should not happen. It doesn't. There is no need for civilians, American citizens, to be fighting with each other. There is absolutely no need for that. There really wasn't any need for it the last time it happened, almost 200 years ago. If people had just been willing to do a few simple things, it wouldn't have happened then, and it doesn't have to happen now. The number one thing, and this is the number one thing we need to do, we need to stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it, because even your thoughts have power. And the main power that our thoughts have, if we think about anything too long and let ourselves get too worked up on it, we're going to carry it out. So stop thinking about it. That's the first thing we need to do. Just stop thinking about it. It is true. There is a small percentage, and it is unfortunate that it doesn't take that many. 1 to 3% of any country's population is all it takes to cause major problems for the rest of the entire country. And that's sad, but it's true. And there is a small number of people throughout this country who are just completely brainwashed. Not all of them are under the age of 30, but I think most of them probably are, because youth is always the main target for brainwashing fanatics. So the youth needs to be the people that we target the most with the opposite end of the spectrum. And I'm not saying target them with conservatism. I'm not saying to target them with liberalism. They don't need that. They got more than enough of that going on as it is already. Okay? Get that out there. We need to target the young people with logic. Logic, reason, rational thinking. That's what they need to be targeted with. We need to be teaching every young person we come in contact with, you have no control over anything or anyone but you and your own behavior. I mean, just start up a conversation with them sometime. Ask them, do you want to lose family members? Do you want to lose your best friends? Well, I got news for you. People start fighting with each other. American citizens start doing that. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to lose family. You're going to lose friends. Possibly all of them if it gets bad enough. Is that what you want? Then don't get involved in it. It's that simple. Don't get involved in it. If you don't want that, then don't get involved in it. The only time that any of us should raise a hand to anyone is in our defense, the defense of our family, our property, or someone that we know is being innocently mistreated. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Take it from someone who has made this mistake in the past. Don't assume that just because someone is being beat up, having rocks thrown at them, or what have you, that they're innocent. You should never assume that, ever. There may be a very good reason for why they're appearing to be mistreated. They may have started something that they were not prepared to finish. Find out what happened before you go jumping to anyone's defense, because you might decide, once you find out from the person who is being attacked, that they deserved to be attacked. That happens more often than you probably realize. It only had to happen to me once, especially when I found out what the person that I defended had actually done, or attempted to do. I was like, I should have just let this kid keep throwing rocks at this old, yeah. I should have, if I had known what had happened prior to the rock throwing, I would have been helping the kids throw rocks at the guy. Okay? That's just the way it is. Find out, get the facts before you get involved in something like that. Get the facts. And if you don't have the facts, well, unless it is a child or an elderly person, I would just not get involved. Or somebody who is obviously severely disabled, can't walk, struggling to walk, missing limbs or something, something like that, then don't get involved unless you know exactly what was going on with that. And quite frankly, people need to understand something about all these illegals that are in our country. They're victims just as much as we are. You may not want to accept that, but that is the truth. These people were lied to get them to come here. Just go to Cash Jordan. That's a YouTube channel, Cash Jordan. Look him up. Go have a look at what's being, the way that these illegals in New York are being treated. Not only they've built a shelter that looks more like a prison. The organization that has built it has already gotten into a shitload of trouble for mistreating people. They've been given a ton of money to do everything that needs to be done, and instead they're not doing it. You know what they're doing? They're making people pay $11 for a meal that 2 hours later is going to cause them to have diarrhea and throw up. These people are getting food poisoning from the food that they're buying for their kids. Their kids are getting food poisoning frequently. And this is all they have to eat. So, these people were promised, and some of them, I'm sure, are getting all kinds of benefits. I'm sure of that. But I bet you that's the ones that our current administration is convinced are going to illegally vote for them. Well, there's plenty of people going to do that already. There's nothing we can do about that. Whatever happens in the future, politically, it's going to happen. I mean, I hate to say it, but with all the attention and energy that's being put into internal conflict within this country, it's probably going to happen. It doesn't have to, but it probably will. Because there are just too many people putting too much thought into it, too many people talking about it. And it doesn't make any sense. It does not have to happen. I'm telling you, here in Kentucky, where I live, I don't see people behaving violently and irrationally with each other. Some things you're just better off to not talk to people about. You don't want to talk to people about conservative versus liberal. That is just stupid to even get into a conversation about that. Just talk to people about being kind, remaining calm, being rational, thinking clearly, not getting emotional over something that really isn't that big of a deal. Now, these are the things that we need to be imparting to people. Not this side is 100% right, and that side's 100% wrong. I want to get down to the truth of it. Neither conservatives nor liberals are 100% correct about anything. Absolutely nothing. So why should we even put our focus, our attention? Why should we get upset about stupid things? I mean, you get down to the truth of it, the main thing that we really need to focus on politically is keeping the federal government out of states' laws. That's the main thing that we need to focus on. As much as I don't like saying it, because there are some things I would really just not want to see happen in Kentucky. I would not want to see us going back to the days when women could kill their baby at any level of gestation. I don't want to see that happen. I just don't. Because the fact of the matter is, when you know what they do to these poor little babies, it's just inhumane and cruel. I mean, going in there and just literally yanking off their arms and legs and knowing that they can feel every bit of the pain from that being done, that's just, I'm sorry, that's just cruel. I don't care whether they have come out and been born into the world yet or not. That's cruel. Nobody should be allowed to do that. First trimester, I really don't have a big problem with that. But once that has gotten to the point that that fetus is capable of feeling all the agony from what's being done to, no, should not be allowed. Give that woman something that will induce labor. I'm sorry, if she wants to get rid of her baby that bad, let her go through some effort to get it done. That's the way I feel about it. People would disagree. That's okay. You can disagree with me all you want. That's the way I feel. I'm not going to shoot you because of what you're doing. And I don't think anybody needs to shoot, stab, hit me in the face or anything else for feeling the way that I feel. It's not necessary. You feel differently than I do, okay? That's the way it is. I'm not going to get violent with you over that because you disagree with me over... I just won't talk to you about it. I'll avoid the topic. You know, and something else, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, as I have told you before, being an old homo, I didn't fight for what I'm seeing going on in the gay community in this generation. All the people that have been included in it that should not be in it. It started out being gay, lesbian, bisexual. That's where it should have stayed. They shouldn't have included anybody else because nobody else is part of that. It's ridiculous, idiotic. Do I want to see things go back to a point where everybody has to, just stay quiet and pretend to be somebody they're not? No. Would I be okay with that if it did happen compared to what's going on with that alleged community? Yeah, I would be. Because I don't like what I see. Don't like it at all. At any rate, I'm not going to start beating people up over that. I'm not going to shoot anybody. I want what's best for the entire country. At this point, I'm really not terribly concerned about any small portion or any itty-bitty little section of society. I'm not concerned about that. I shouldn't have been concerned about it. If I had known what it was going to be, later on down the road, I wouldn't have been a bit concerned about it at all. I wouldn't have. Because there were some things that were said back then that I thought were absolutely crazy and stupid. And the things that those people on the other side said have actually happened. I mean, it's just the way it is. They told us, allow this today, and tomorrow you allow that. These people today, tomorrow the pedophiles. And you know what? That's happened. I hate to say it, but that's happened. They're actually putting those people in schools. And no good has come of it. It's crazy what's going on these days. I mean, we need an entire overhaul of the school system more than anything else. Start teaching real education and stop indoctrinating young minds into Marxism. Well, main thing to keep in mind is this. Control yourself. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed, bogged down with emotion. That's exactly what these people want. And I'm telling you, it's not just one side or the other. The politicians, these corporations, elites all across the board, they want that. That's exactly what they want. You can look at, please don't pay any attention to the TV and radio media. That is the worst thing you can do. I get all of my information from YouTube. I don't get it from anywhere else. And not just me here in Kentucky. Appalachia's Homestead. Oh, I don't remember what the other guy's name is. Travis. I don't remember his channel name. But yeah, I'm hearing from a lot of people that they're seeing the same thing in their state, their community that I see here. Cool-headed people. They disagree on various things, but you know what? At the end of the day, I go home to my house, you're safe. You go home to your house, I'm safe. That's what we're seeing. And I believe personally that is the majority of the United States. We are in the majority. It is up to us to stop the minority. And how do we do that? We do it by being calm, being rational, sensible, remembering that if we go out and we start hurting people, somebody's going to come back and hurt us. So don't do it. Put your arms around people if they're in a frame of mind that they're willing to let you do that. If they're obviously not, then stay away from them. But I hate to say it, but it's likely going to happen. And it's not going to matter who gets in the White House. It's not going to matter. But we can stop this very quickly after it gets started. We are the majority, and we are stoic. We are calm, collected, level-headed, sensible, rational, kind, compassionate, altruistic people. We must remember that this is who we are as Americans, and this is who we must stay. Thanks for listening. Brother Edward, signing out.